guys, welcome back. So this is going to be a video response to my good mate Jay, Sybersnake7, J7, Sybersnake, whatever he wants to go by today. Yeah, so Sybersnake put up a brilliant video this morning, well probably last night actually, I just saw it this morning, and he was talking about how he's losing his love for modern gaming and he wanted to hear our opinions. So I thought, yeah, I've got to put a response out for this one. So yeah, Jay's saying that basically he's finding that he's enjoying the retro stuff a lot more than he is the modern gaming, mainly because there's a lot of cinematics, a lot of downloadable content, and he's not too happy with the way the modern gaming industry is going. And he just, you know, like he said in his video basically, he finds there isn't a lot of game nowadays, it's more cinematics and it's more of a movie. Whereas you can put a Super Nintendo game on and he's just totally sucked in, he's sold on the game and he's loving it and it's absolutely awesome, he's really enjoying his retro. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to put a response to this and give my opinion because it really struck a chord with me, because in the last few years, with the previous generation of PS3 and X360, I have had moments where I've just gone, you know what, I'm done, I'm selling all this, I just can't do this anymore. I'm getting frustrated, I find the games were getting unnecessarily difficult and just angering. That's more than anything, I found that modern games just made me angry, just made me extremely angry, and I just throw the pad or just scream. And I don't get that with retro. Retro is just a really pleasant, fun experience. Even though retro games are actually harder and more challenging, but they're more challenging than hard. There's a definite distinction there between a challenging game and a hard game. A hard game to me is something like with Call of Duty, where they just swamp you with AI and they just respawn and they just make you want to just punch something. You know, Resistance Fallen Man #2 did that. It was just relentless. And it was unnecessary and it just didn't make for a fun experience whatsoever. Whereas when you play like a Mario game or any classic retro game like a platformer, they're challenging and they're usually built so well and constructed so well that it's your fault if you mess up. And you know, and you don't really get angry with the game, you just get annoyed at yourself a little bit and you just keep going and going and going and pushing forward to try and complete it and get past the part you're stuck on. And it's such an achievement when you do, you feel really, really good about yourself and it's enjoyable. And so yeah, I was getting a bit annoyed with modern gaming myself. I was getting to the point I just can't be arsed, I'm sick of it, I'm going to stick with retro. Now, the interesting thing that's happened is in the last year or so, especially the last few months, I've got to the point now where I feel like selling all of that. I won't do it, but I just feel like retro has consumed me, and the collecting has consumed me, and I just feel like I'm just going to stick with modern gaming. I just can't deal with this anymore. I just want to just sell it all, have done with it, get the money in the bank, just start living my life and just play modern games when I can, and just go travelling and do all the stuff that I've never done. And at 36, going on 37, I have wasted my life. There's no doubt, and there are two ways about it, I've wasted my life. I haven't done anything in my life that's worthwhile, you know, that of any importance. You know, I look around and you see, especially the global social media world that we live in, and you look at other people's lives and the things they've done. I ain't done shit. You know, what have I done in my life? I went to school, went to college, got a job, worked my arse off. That's all I did. Never did anything else, never went anywhere, never did anything. And then I got stuck into collecting, which I absolutely adore doing. Love the collecting, love YouTube, love gaming, retro gaming. But I just feel like there's more to life than this. And it was starting to really get me down. I'm coming to a point now where I'm a lot happier and I've got more balance. And I realise that you can have both. You know, because the gaming, the retro gaming and collecting was consuming my life, and it was literally eBay 4 or 5 times a day, checking it constantly, and just buying stuff for the sake of it because it's there, and not buying it because I actually wanted it. And I was just like, it was my only avenue, it was where all my money went. I was just like buying games, consoles, games, and that was it. Clothes, life, just even stuff that I needed in my house, just general everyday stuff were irrelevant. Gaming was important to me, and that was all. But it's psychological, it took over. I've realised that I have OCD to a degree, and I have an addictive personality, and no matter what it be, if it be games or something else, once I get stuck in that mode, I get stuck, and I can't get out of it, and I can't shake it. And I was just throwing money at it, and recently, in this past 12 months, I've had a really tough 12 months. And I can't go into details because I won't on camera, but I've had a really shit year, and I've really found it hard to come out the other side. And I've been doing really well. I've been getting there. I've been coming out of it. I have gone back down a few times, but I pulled myself back up, and recently I just came to the realisation that the collecting and the gaming was a big part of it as well. There was a lot more stuff besides that, but it was an element that I could actually do something about and I could take charge in. So I have sold a lot of my collection. I've sold most of my stuff now. All I have left is my PlayStation 1, my Super Nintendo collection, which you can see, and my Japanese Mega Drive. That's it. In terms of retro, I have nothing else. The Nintendo NES went the other day, I sold that, that's gone. I needed money anyway, because money's tight, you know. Not pleading poverty, because I'm not anywhere near that. Just obviously being between jobs at the moment, and I've had a lot of shit to deal with in the last 12 months. My finances have took a major hit, and I've had to sell a lot of stuff to just like keep my head above water for the most part, and to make sure I've got food on the table and all the usual crap. Yeah, it's been a tough year, so yeah, I'm not going to dwell on that, because I'm trying to be very positive now, and I'm trying to focus and move forward, you know, and make my life better, because that's what's important. You can't just let it consume you and take over your life and destroy you. You have to move forward, you have to change, and you have to be positive, as hard as that can be. And it can be extremely difficult to be positive some days. If you're going through a tough time, you know, when you're down, you don't see a way out. It's really tough. It's really hard, and I've never experienced it the way I have in the last 12 months. It scared the shit out of me. Come out of nowhere, did not expect it, and it was horrific. So yeah, but in terms of the gaming now, I'm more balanced. I enjoy both retro, modern equally. And getting back on topic, in terms of the modern gaming, obviously a lot of people, you know, I say a lot of people, but you do see people are not big on the cinematics, and they just want to skip the cinematics and play the actual game. Whereas to me, I always feel like you're missing out if you do that, because the cinematics are the game as well. It's all one big experience, and it is an interactive movie, like Jay said. That's exactly what it is these days. You know, you're controlling the characters in the movie, which to me is something that's absolutely mind-blowing and fantastic, and I love it. And it's a game like The Last of Us that really turned me around and was like, yeah, this is why you play modern gaming, modern games. You know, the Uncharted and that are fantastic, love them to bits, some of my favourite games. But The Last of Us, the storytelling in that game is just phenomenal. The emotional experience that I had playing that game is just something else, something I've never experienced in a game before. They did such a good job, and the actors just fantastic. Yeah, so I am at the point now where I like both equally. I'm quite happy to just, you know, spend a couple of hours just hammering around some retro games and just having fun and enjoying myself. But I'm also quite happy to play a PS4, PS3 game and just get really emotionally invested and lost in that environment and that world. But I can also obviously play a bit of Call of Duty or Medal of Honor and just blast the shit out of stuff. Which to me, them kind of games, I like retro games. The cutscenes aren't that important. It's all about the game and just killing people and blowing shit up, you know, and just classics. And like, you can play your Nintendo, you can play your Mario, you can play your platformers. You know, you got the Toad game coming out, you got Yoshi coming out. They've got some fantastic games coming out. So I think modern gaming does have its place. It has lost its way in some degree, and I think it's more on the Sony Microsoft side, like Jay says, with all the digital content and, you know, and like I said in my previous Q&A video, the day one patches, the pre-order bonuses, all the bullshit marketing stuff that's involved nowadays. For me, it never really makes any difference whatsoever, because I don't care. I've always said that I'm a traditional gamer. When I buy a game, I buy the disc, play the game on the disc, that's it. I might play it again if it's a really good game. I might play it multiple times like I have done with Uncharted. But I don't go in for DLC. I have no interest in all that. I just don't see any point. I don't want to buy an extra map pack or a costume or a weapon or an upgrade of some kind. I don't want to pay to play another mission, put it on the disc. It's just, yeah, it serves no purpose to me. I don't see the point. And like Jay said, like this whole thing about if you can't complete the game, you can pay to complete the game or to find a special level. There's no challenge in that. Make it so that you have to unlock it yourself. You have to be challenged. Nintendo annoy me a little bit with the way they do in their games now, because they're mass market, and that obviously the Wii audience is very, I hate the word casual gamer, the term casual gamer, but you know what I mean. They make it so that if you play a Mario game, for example, and you fail at a certain part like 5 times in a row, it will then say, would you like me to give you a hand? Oh, it's so annoying. I just want to go, no, off. I don't want you to give me a hand. I want to keep going. If it takes 10, 20, 30 attempts, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get past it with my own skill. I don't care. I don't need you to keep reminding me, and I don't need you to keep saying, do you want to take a rest? Do you want to take a break? No, I don't. Piss off. Let me play my game. It's really frustrating, that is. So yeah, I mean, in terms of modern and retro, I'm pretty balanced. I'm doing quite well, especially now that I've got control of my retro collecting, and having no money is a big help because it stops you buying because you can't. So that's really good, and it's given me a lot of perspective. You know, I've stepped back from it. Don't check eBay, not at all, but I'd say pretty much hardly ever. I checked it yesterday, and that's the first time in about a month. So, considering I was doing 4 or 5 times more, maybe more than that a day, you know, before I got hold of this situation, that's a big improvement. Selling all my systems, which is a massive importance, and I won't be buying them back. I know I've said that many a time, but I'm in a totally different mind frame. You know, I'm in a different place in my life at this point, so I will not be doing that. I'm sticking with Super Nintendo Mega Drive for the main collecting. PS1, I'm not collecting for that. I just buy games when I feel the need to buy a new PlayStation 1 game. I don't have a set list for those at all. No, Mega Drive and SNES I have lists for. Mega Drive's only about 50 games, nothing major, so that's quite doable. And the only really expensive ones are things like Castlevania, Vampire Killer, and Contra, and maybe a couple of others as well. Super Nintendo, well, yeah. But yeah, that's where I stand really. So I think that was a really good video by Jane. It was really good to see someone talk about that, because I've been there. I've had this situation where I just couldn't be bothered with modern gaming anymore. It was just getting on my nerves, and I just want to see a bit more variety now. That's all I want. Yeah, something a little different. They do seem to be making some kind of effort with some of the games that are coming out, so that's really good. But I really like the story-driven games. I love them equally as much as I do the action games, and as equally as I do classic retro platformers, shoot 'em ups, you know, fighting games. So yeah, it's all good really. You know, gaming's great, and you know, all I say, Jay, you're doing the right thing by not selling your PS4 and Wii U as well, because maybe it might just be a phase that you're going through at the moment. Maybe, like myself, you really don't want to be arsed with modern gaming, but down the line, in say a couple of months, maybe 6 months, a year, you might think, you know what, I'm going to give it another shot, and you put a game on, and you're like, yeah, this is why I like modern gaming, because that's what happened to me. I put it aside for a bit, came back to it after playing a lot of retro, and I realised, I thought, you know what, this is why modern gaming is so good and so much fun and enjoyable. So just put them in the cupboard or something, just leave them in your game room for a bit, and then come back to them in the future when there's more games available, and see how you go. And especially the Wii U. The Wii U, that is going to have some great games in the next year. PS4 eventually, next 2 years, it will have some stunning games. So just stick with it, Jay, doing the right thing. Don't, as you said, you're not one of these idiots like me who sells and rebuys, because that's dumb. Just so you know, guys, as well, I am selling my Xbox One as well. Not through choice, purely because I have no choice. I need the money, so I've got to sell it. And yeah, I was talking to Retro Dave, and Retro Dave said, well, at the end of the day, it's a modern console. It's only been out a few months. If you do want to get it back in the future, you can when you're better off, which is right. So it makes more sense to sell that, get the cash now, and then 2 years' time or whatever, maybe even a year's time, who knows, when I'm in a better financial situation, I can go ahead and buy it. We shall see. Anyway, that's my, well, not so short response to Jay's video. Obviously there's a link down below to Jay's video as well, so go and check it out, because Jay's an absolute top bloke. And if you don't know who Jay is, which you really should, go and check out his channel as well and watch his videos, because he's one of the nicest blokes on YouTube, really top bloke. He's got a fantastic collection, and he makes really, really good, solid videos as well. And he's also a Super Nintendo collector like me, buys American Super Nintendo, and has got some absolutely fantastic games that I don't own yet. And he's just, yeah, he's an absolutely top bloke. So go over there and check out his videos. If you like what you see, click his subscribe button and, you know, become a subscriber, because you won't regret that. He's a really great bloke, and consistently good quality videos as well. Alright guys, well, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos, just click on subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.